Might Just Take Your Life. When I got the gig with Purple, I'd come down a couple of times to stay with Richie and work on song ideas and at his house in Camberley in Surrey called Blockhooter, in which he had built an authentic replica of a German beer keller. So in the heart of suburbia, Camberley in Surrey, you're in a Hamburg Gaststätte. It was pretty happening. But that's where he had his Revox, and that's where he'd do work and stuff, and that's where we'd retire to do this. So I get the job, and we're working on all this kind of stuff, and we didn't touch Might Just Take Your Life. That basic idea came from John. What had happened was I get the job and told to report to Clearwell Castle, Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire, at this particular date or whatever. So there I am. And of course, John Lord had to miss the first couple of days of rehearsal. So I stood there, nervous to death, watching this amazing power trio of Ian Pace, Glenn Hughes, and Richie Blackmore just jamming. I can't even remember that Glenn was singing. I think there was just all these jammings, and I was just like, oh no, yeah. And then we go to the pub and we all chatting and talking, and I swear to God, I didn't know what to do. And another salute to John Lord. He'd called Richie and said, oh, I'll be down tomorrow. Is that cool? How is everything? And Richie said, oh, fine. He says, how's Davey doing? He said, oh, he's great. He hasn't sung a note. And he went, oh, he's probably nervous. I'll talk to him when we come down there. So he had everyone go to the pub. So it was just John Lord and I in the crypt where all the equipment was, and drinking. And those days I was drinking Scotch and Coke, and both John and I smoked like chimneys, And he just started chatting to me and relaxing me, as he did at my audition, and in this inimitable, charming and graceful way that John had. And we just jam on a Beatles song or a rock song, just the two of us, or whatever. And slowly but surely, all of that tenseness and anxiety just washed off. I think the Scotch and Coke helped. But he shared a very piece of intimate information with me, which was fascinating insight. When Deep Purple first started, Mark I, John was, I think, the principal writer. And all the way up to Concerto for Group and Orchestra, which was the first recording, I think, of Mark II. And that was very successful. But everywhere they went, the promoter was saying, where's the fucking orchestra? Till Richie went, enough of this. If we don't do a rock album, I'm out. And then they made this amazing album, Deep Purple in Rock, and the rest is history. But then Richie became the primary source for riffs and rock, and came into his own beautifully and brilliantly, as we all know. So John was sharing this story with me, how hard it was for him, being such an accomplished musician, that Richie will plug in his Fender Strat into the amp, turn it up, and play even the most simple guitar riff, and everybody goes, wow, that's amazing, right? That's all jam, But if John played it on an organ, he didn't get the same response. So I said to him, well, what about chords? To me, chords have the same strength of riffs. Look at Gimme Some Loving. That's Spencer Davis Group, amazing. There's great songs by an American group called The Band that features Procol Harum as a keyboard-based thing. And he went, oh. I said, have you got anything? And he played me. He said, what about this? Well, I just grabbed it immediately. The feeling I had, this is like a kind of Heard It Through the Grapevine. By Marvin Gaye. And one thing that I've been blessed with forever is the ability to just jam, to improvise on the spot, maybe my love of blues or whatever, but I do take it as a blessing. It's not a lot of premeditated stuff for me. It just happens. So I started wailing on this song, and we were building it up. And when the guys came back from the pub, we started jamming on it, and John was absolutely thrilled. So it was this wonderful exchange of ideas, which brought John huge confidence booster that he had this big riff Deep Purple thing, because it's great. And we focused on the Purple album. We focused more on making it a guitar chord riff as opposed to keyboard. Because, I mean, John Lord's sound just simply cannot be replicated. But yeah, so I got an opportunity to do my soulful stuff. And of course, Glenn and I shared that song together. But yeah, really cool stuff. And Richie loved it too. It's a great tune.